Hi friends, I'm Erin and this is Erin Go Read. Welcome to a COVID weekend reading vlog, I suppose. It's Friday morning, 10:25. I've been homesick, knowing that I had COVID since last Sunday. So almost a week. Started feeling symptoms Thursday night. I thought it was allergies or a cold, just like postnasal drip keeping me up Thursday and Friday night. And by Saturday I was like super congested. Tested negative on Friday night or Saturday morning. Tested negative and but was just really congested and came home from working about 5 or 6 hours at the gym and took like a 2-hour nap. And by Sunday morning I did test positive. It's only really hitting me like a cold, not like the flu. So, I know some people right now who've had like really high fevers, like 103 plus. My temp never even hit 100. And yeah, just much more like cold-like symptoms for me than flu-like. So it definitely could be worse, but unfortunately I just tested positive still. And so it's more like an interruption to life than anything. So, my dog is licking my leg, if you can hear that. So yesterday I finished No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. So this is like a psychological thriller. Stevie, that's enough. The main character, Sydney, is in this like beautiful Brooklyn brownstone neighborhood that historically has kind of changed hands a bit between mostly black residents and mostly white residents. And it is in another of these cycles where it's changing hands from a lot of the mostly black neighborhood is now being gentrified. A big, I think it's a pharmaceutical company. A big pharmaceutical company has bought a building, like an old hospital, and it's really changing the landscape of the neighborhood and those who live there. And Sydney is dubious about what's happening, and she's starting to see things like people aren't just moving away. It almost seems like people are disappearing. And she, along with Theo, who is one of these new white neighbors who have moved in, they both start to see things and wonder, is there more to this than meets the eye? She's also in the midst of coming up with a new tour, because she had gone on, there are these tours that happen of the brownstones, and it seems like everything that they were mentioning in this tour were about the accomplishments of the white people of the neighborhood over history, even though this is a historically black neighborhood. And so she enlists Theo in helping her to research basically the accomplishments of black residents in this neighborhood. And so they kind of establish this working friendship and kind of become allies in this. And you know, what is behind this all? It is very overtly, oh my goodness, you can get it, buddy, you can get it, go on. He can totally get this toy, and he's just wanting me to get it for him. No, you get it. You can do it. I believe in you. Oh, now you really got it stuck, haven't you? So there's a very overt message about gentrification and pushing out black people, marginalizing them. It goes in a lot of different directions. It can be quite uncomfortable, I would say, particularly as a white person. It can be very uncomfortable, and it's very clear what the author is doing in the story. It's like she just like cranked up the dial, the discomfort, the racial discomfort dial. But I think it's really effective in doing what she's doing and showing that like there is no escape. And yeah, it was really interesting. It's a thriller, and it's not like jump scares or like really on the edge of your seat. It's more of that psychological thriller kind of component. There was a pretty good couple twists in there that I really enjoyed. So yeah, that was really enjoyable. Got a phone call coming up here in a minute, but I just barely started reading the plot last night by Hanff Koreitz, about a kind of not so successful writer who is also a history or a creative writing professor at a college, and I believe he's going to steal the plot of a student's story. I think that's what the plot is. He steals someone else's plot. I'm also listening to Mel Robbins' The High Five Habit on audiobook and really enjoying that. And then I'm also, since I have so much free time, I can't go anywhere. I'm doing this The Reset by her. It's like a 3-day training, 3-part training kind of thing. So as many of you know, excuse me, itchy nose. As many of you know, I've just, been going through a time and kind of need a bit of a reset. So I am home stuck, so might as well, do a little personal growth kind of thing. And so I'm actually I printed it out, and I'm actually going to go through the workbook and like journal some stuff out, write some stuff out, and see if I can, just help to reset and get my head put back on straight for when I hopefully re-enter the world on Monday. I was supposed to get my hair cut today, which was going to be dependent upon my test being negative, which is not happening. And my hair's driving me crazy. So I'm not going to touch the top or anything like that. I'm not going to do too short, but this back portion right here, it just drives me nuts when it gets too long. And then also my hair over my left ear just literally grows out straight. And so that part drives me crazy. So I'm going to take the clippers to myself. Worst case scenario, my mom will fix it for me, but I don't know. She's also staying away from me. So yeah, here goes nothing. I think I did pretty good. There's no lines anywhere. Cleaner at the back. So unless I'm not seeing something that's actually there, I think I did exactly what I want to accomplish. Just a little bit of a cleanup so I don't feel so icky. I should wash some towels. That's hard to point. I should wash some towels today. I'm gonna take a shower now and get all this hair off me while listening to the High Five Habit. What's up, guys? It's Saturday morning, just after 8 o'clock. I've been up since before 5, mostly just screwing around, but also doing some kind of morning routine stuff, kind of getting back into my old morning routine after just being in that funk. I covered it up. That's Stevie. I just read about 10 pages or so in Hormone Repair Manual by Laura Briden. This is pretty much focused on perimenopause and menopause. And so that's really for work. And then, hi buddy, did some Bible reading and, lots of just screwing around on Instagram and Facebook, honestly. Excuse me. Look at my armpit. Yesterday I had 2 back-to-back phone calls in the afternoon, and it was like 100 degrees yesterday, but I just needed to get out of the house, and it's a dry heat here, so it's really not bad. And so I just went in the neighborhood walking in running shorts and a sports bra, and I didn't realize until a little while ago how dark I got yesterday. It's a little bit red too, but how dark. What always surprises me is not how dark I get, but actually how white I actually am. It'd be the English Irish to go with my Mexican. So I only made it to page 17 in this yesterday, and so I'm going to use you as my accountability buddy here and actually get into the plot. It's actually really readable. I just have he's just been licking me like crazy lately. Do you know what? Is it just because it's summer and am I just always salty? Stop it. No, thank you. Just be. Anyway, I'm gonna use you as my accountability partner. Stop it. Especially under my watch is just delicious. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna actually sit here and read. I'm gonna set a timer for 30 minutes. Not let myself get up or do anything else for at least 30 minutes. That usually really works for me, and I usually end up reading for longer than that. don't know what the plot is, but we have, I believe, been introduced to the writer of the plot. Just this obnoxious ass of a guy, Evan Parker, or as he wants his pen name to be, Parker Evan. Is just this blonde, just arrogant ass of a guy who wants to take this class basically because, some letters after his name isn't gonna hurt. Maybe he'll get a literary agent out of it. He doesn't expect to get anything from the class, but he's prepared to make comments on other people's writing. He thinks that he has the plot to end all plots, and I believe that is going to be the plot that, what's our main character's name? Jacob ends up stealing. My timer worked. I read about 30 pages. I'm now in part 2, which sounds impressive, but part 1 was only 40 something pages. So part 2 starts 2.5 years later, from the time that he had that class and met this arrogant guy with the plot. So, I just watched a Doris video, little break, had some breakfast, and my coffee is like hanging off the thing. That's not good. Anyway, so I think I'm gonna do my 30-minute trick again and get another 30 minutes into the book, and then I'll probably want to do something productive because I've been sitting here for several hours, and some sort of cleanup feels like it's necessary. I just finished up High Five Habit on about a mile walk in my neighborhood. She reads it herself. I highly recommend the audiobook. I think I probably will end up getting the physical book of it, just more for a reference than anything, because I will definitely be using just this work in my coaching. I've already been doing the High Five Habit myself. I dare you to give yourself a high five in the mirror and not feel good about yourself. Highly recommend the book, the audiobook. She's super entertaining. I listened even to the acknowledgments. Even the acknowledgments were entertaining. So highly recommend. I just vacuumed and cleaned up a little bit, repotted a plant. So when I sit back down on the couch, there will not be a dead plant behind me, but an alive snake plant, which is alive despite my negligence, or maybe because of it. Maybe I coddle my plants. Maybe that's the problem. Anyhow, I'm going to walk back home and probably read some more. So it's going on, I think it's 12:45 or so, and my mom has now deemed me safe to go out in public. I haven't had a fever since Monday, and it's Saturday. So I think I'm safe. According to everything we've read, I should absolutely not be contagious anymore. So we're going to go to a very close family friend, my sister from another mister. Her daughter is playing in a 14U softball tournament, and so we're going to go see that game at 2. Her colors are like blue and gold, so I got my blue book nerd shirt on, and I actually just kind of revitalized it because it's this brand, Boardwalk Co. or something like that, and it's a women's small shirt, and it fits me everywhere else, but the shoulders were just too constrictive, and I actually had a hole in the armpit, so I just cut the sleeves right off. So be supporting her. Hopefully I did a relatively even job with my scissor work there. I'm feeling super restless though, so instead of sitting down to read, so I read 50 so pages or so of the plot today. I'm gonna get on. I'm almost done with draft 3 of the memoir. So I had a little bit of reworking to do. It was draft 3 is the first version where I had a full round of comments from my book coach / editor. So I have addressed all of those. I have shored up some of the transitions. Just did not have very good transitions before in a lot of places. And now I'm going back through the final time to just read it through every now and then. I'll change up some wording or something that I don't necessarily like, or again, looking for those opportunities for a better transition. So I'm going to work on that before we go to the baseball game or the softball game. And then I feel very restless during the day, particularly on weekend days where I don't have anything to do. And so it's really hard for me to just sit and read like in the middle of the day on the weekend. And so in the evening when we come back, I'm hoping that I'll feel much more like reading and get a good chunk of the plot read, which I'm very much enjoying, by the way. All right, I have a little excerpt for you. I'm talking about Sam's communication in the book, and his communication was very difficult. He could speak, but he had a hard time turning his voice on sometimes. He had a combination of Parkinsonism, so not Parkinson's disease, but basically symptoms of the disease, which includes an inability to be able to talk loud enough, essentially. And then he also had muscle weakness like someone with a stroke. So he could talk, but his intelligibility really kind of varied, although speaking was definitely his preferred method. We tried other means, including using an alphabet board, which is basically just like if I took like the front of a binder and I had the alphabet going across, and then he would point to help spell things out. He was a really, really good speller, and we used that to our benefit. So here's a chunk, a little excerpt where I'm talking about this. To illustrate Sam's cognitive and language ability, despite his difficulty with speech, I want to share a Father's Day card he dictated to me for his dad. This took the better part of an hour and required using the alphabet board. I had no idea where he was going with this, so I didn't have any context to help me. I kept reminding him this is a Father's Day card to bring him back to the point. Quote, to my father, there is an evil monster that lurks in the tower. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't destroy the evil monster. But then came the king who said, all my horses and all my men played a rough game of polo, and we defeated the Alpha. All of us ought to join my army. All of the land that is spent feeding our forces and otherwise is land worth sacrificing. Not even if I say the magic words could an army defeat you with the power of your fatherly love. You have equipped me with the same weapon. Happy Father's Day. I love you, Dad. Love, Sam. Just a little sneak peek. In another spot, there's also a sample from his zombie western that he wrote on his last deployment, the deployment where he got hurt. Sunday afternoon, I just got my nails done. I'm sitting in the car wash, so I'm going to read some of the plot. The plot has ensued, and what's his name? Jacob is now in danger of being caught. So he has written the book with the idea that was not his own, and it has become a big sensation, as he expected it would. It became Oprah's book club book and all that, movie deal, all this stuff, really big deal. And now he's getting anonymous messages that he's a plagiarist, he's a thief, all that. So it's feeling a little bit thrillery in that aspect, like what's going to happen. So yeah, really enjoying it. How far? I'm getting close to halfway through it. So the cool thing about the story is that interspersed, we have chapters from the novel. So we get, I'm assuming at some point we're going to get an idea of what like this extraordinary plot twist actually is. Hey guys, I'm just feeling all over the place right now. It's Wednesday at 10:25. Been up for 5 hours and done a lot already, but normally I have the kids on Wednesdays, but the big kids are staying at their grandpa's house, and they decided to keep Charlie, the 3-year-old, home just to give me more time to rest and not have to deal with her while I'm still, I'm basically over it, but just out of an abundance of caution. So I don't have my normal kind of Wednesday, which just really throws me off. So I actually do have a couple work things going on today. I already had one client call. I have another one at 12:30, and then I have something with my coach at 11:30. That was out of order. But anyway, I think I'm also a little discombobulated because I just sent off links to Google Doc links to the latest draft of my memoir to 5 people, early readers. So I feel a little bit nauseated about it. Like, I'm excited to share it. And I'm really excited to get feedback. So what I want to do is I want to get feedback from them. I had my mom read it already. And she gave me some really good feedback. There were a couple little tweaks I already made based on what she had to say. The difference is, like, my mom or my sister, who I just sent it to her too. They know the whole story, and they might not know every detail that's in the memoir, but they know the whole story. And there are other of these readers that don't necessarily know the whole story, or they only know like what I've told them. They know it from, they learned it recently or something like that, and didn't necessarily go through the whole 13 years with me. So it'll be interesting to get their different perspectives, but I also just want to like speed up time and find out what they have. Like I just want to like incessantly check my email or my texts, like as if they're going to drop everything and just read a 150-page Google document right now. Yeah, so I'm feeling a little unsettled. What I would love to do, I think I might have to use the timer again, because I have an hour before I have to get on a call with my coach. And so I think I should just read the plot. I did read some of it already this morning, and it's so good. There's a really great tension in here because, as I've said, he basically stole the idea for the plot from this former student of his. And there's just this constant tension in the book of if he's going to get caught, and he's living in this tension, and you really feel it in the writing. There's like a discomfort in it, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. It makes it a really kind of thrilling read, but also sometimes you maybe don't want to feel that in you. But I think it makes it really effective writing. So yeah, I think I just need to like settle down and do this. And what do I have? I think I have like 100 pages left. I think I have almost exactly 100 pages left. So we'll see how far I can get through this, and I guess my goal will be to finish this today since I don't have a whole lot else going on. I have like 45 minutes to kill before my therapy appointment, and they're pretty close together. And so I found this park here, which has there's this whole neighborhood that has all this art. I think that's supposed to be, I'm not exactly sure what that one's supposed to be, but there's a bunny right there. There's some deer over another art deer. But this whole neighborhood, at the beginning of like certain streets or parts of the neighborhood, there'll be art. And then there's another park, is actually the park that I was looking for, that has different art than this one. But I turned too early, and then trying to cut through, I found this park. So this is perfect. And so I'm just gonna sit here with the plot on my little picnic blanket kind of thing and enjoy. It's very hot. It's like 105 out, but it's in the shade and there's a nice breeze, and so it's actually not too bad. I just finished the plot. It was so good. Really enjoyed this. It had me just hooked the whole time. 5 stars. It's been a while. Has it been a while? Yeah, I think it's been a while since I had a 5-star read this year, but this absolutely did it. Highly recommend. My only little quibble is just there's the device used towards the end that I don't love, but absolutely love the book as a whole. That'll do it for this vlog. Thanks for watching. See you around the tubes.